And welcome back. This is your man Warrior, and I am doing a quick video to explain the difficulty levels of the tank takedown. To better explain it, I'm not here to defend the normal tank takedown and all of its damage that it's requiring. I just want to explain it so people understand it, because if you don't understand it, your team may take on the wrong raid. So we're not going to talk about pit right now, although it's very similar to the pit. But let's go ahead and enter the tank takedown. So there's not tier 1 through 7 or anything like that. I keep seeing videos on YouTube of people talking about the T6 normal or the T7 heroic. Throw all of that away. That does not exist in the tank takedown, okay? It's either normal or heroic, okay? So if we go back over to the pit, you'll see that there are different tier settings, right? And this is a particular tier. I think this is a tier 6 that we're currently in. This is my alt account. And so anyway, there's different tiers there. Here, there's only 2 tiers. Now, first off, there's different rewards. Of course, the rewards step down. The boxes that you get are not as good on a normal, and the credits go down. The guild currency goes down, and then, of course, the shards. The average person gets 6 shards on this, not 11. That's the #1 spot. And everybody else gets 6 if they're not in the top 3. But anyway, the difference between these two is vitally imperative that you understand. Now, you can do the normal or the heroic. Your team can launch either one from day one. You do not have to do the normal first before you do the heroic. Now, a lot of people feel that the normal is easier. The normal is not easier. It is actually 4 times harder. So I'm getting a ton of feedback from people saying, oh my gosh, your videos, you're telling us how easy it is. One, I've never said it's easy, ever. I already told you how extremely difficult this is. And 2, I have a feeling there's a lot of teams out there that are busting their tail trying to get through normal, and they see how hard it is, and they go, well, if I can't do normal, I can't do heroic. So let's talk about normal, let's talk about heroic and the differences. First off, normal, you can use any of your 6 stars and any of your 7 stars. That opens up your roster significantly, okay? So you're going to get far more capability of characters that you own, that you're developing, to be able to go in. With the heroic, it must be a 7-star character. 2, roster refresh. Now this is critically important. You use your roster in heroic, they're gone forever in that raid. You use them once and you're done, which is why, if you watched my previous video, you should do this on airplane mode. Put your device on airplane mode and practice, practice, practice until you get the damage that you're looking for. And then once you get the damage you're looking for, you can take it off airplane mode and send the data up to the server. They do have unlimited daily attempts on heroic, whereas the normal has 5 daily attempts, but that really doesn't matter, because on the heroic, it's unlimited because you can use your entire squad. The problem is you'll never get to use your squad again. On heroic, you get up to 5 attacks. That's 25 of your characters. So you get to use the top 25 characters on your roster, and everyone should have a top 25. And then the very next day, you get to do it again. And the very next day, you get to do it again. And the very next day, you get to do it again. So you are going to get to do lots and lots and lots of damage over time. It just takes days to complete. But the heroic, once you use your characters, they're gone for life. The cost of launch is very close. They're very similar, 80,000 or 90,000. And of course, 90,000 is 10,000 more, but it gives you more bang for your buck. And you only can get the general Kenobi shards by doing the heroic. Now, let's talk about, on the bottom, it talks about your intended for. They have normal intended for a slightly easier team, a team that's not quite as developed, versus the heroic. The characters that you go against are going to be much beefier, and you're not going to be able to do quite as much damage, okay? So they're both intended for level 80. This is an in-the-game raid. It's designed for teams that have 50 active players, where most, if not everybody, is between level 75 and 85, and you've got 25 minimum characters, 7-starred and max geared, or at least you've got them to gear 9, gear 8, gear 9. And the normal is going to be for that gear 8. Okay, and then the Mark 5 mods, they're assuming by now you've farmed a ton of health mods or you farmed some other mods and you've at least got some mods on your characters. And with Heroic, they're expecting the minimum of Mark 5 mods and gear 10, which is really the highest for most characters. So the Heroic's designed for those character builds that you have where you've got a bunch of characters maxed out. Now there's pros and cons to these two, and a lot of people just don't understand the difference between the two or which one they should launch for their team. So the pro on the normal is you get to go after it every single day. Now the problem is there's a whole bunch more damage that you have to do because you're going to get to use 25 of your top roster every single day until it's defeated, and so does the rest of your team. They knew that they need to make this more difficult than the Heroic because the Heroic has a 2-day time limit. There's an unlimited time limit for the normal. So because there's no time, they figured it would turn into a grind where you grind it out, where after a week or two of grinding it out, you complete it and you guys get your rewards, okay? So it's designed to be ground out over a period of time, whereas Heroic is designed to be devastated quickly by a well-orchestrated team, and that is exactly what it's intended for. Now, on the part 1, normal to your left is going to have 35 million approximate, 35 million approximate versus the Heroic, which is going to have in part 1, 4 million. So 4 million is a whole lot less damage than 35 million. And so when you're looking at these two, you might say, why would anyone do the normal if Heroic's only 4 million damage in phase 1 and it's 35 million damage, you know, in phase 1 on normal? It's because phase 1 lets you do it over and over and over every day till you're done. It's a guaranteed finish, okay? It's a guaranteed finish. Heroic is not guaranteed. You could play it, open it, go after it, fail, time limit ends, you're done, no rewards, goodbye, okay? Normal, guaranteed rewards. Heroic, no guarantee. So there's a risk versus reward factor going on in here. Now, again, I'm not defending the amount of damage that they're requiring. I do think that at some point they might create another level or tier, and they might even nerf some of the damage requirements. But I'm here to just explain it and go over the damage so maybe you better understand it so you can make a difference in your decision making with your team. Now, part 2, the second phase, on normal, has this one right here. The normal has 75 million approximately, 70 to 75 million damage. That is a lot of damage. With Heroic, it's only 16 million. There's only 16 million on Heroic for phase 2. On phase 3 and phase 4, there's the same amount of damage, and phase 3 for normal is 50 million and 12 million for Heroic, and phase 4 is approximately 50 million with 12 million on Heroic. Now these numbers are estimations for individuals who've ran through these and collected the data to know exactly how much damage they had to do to get their teams completed. So on a normal, let's go back, on the normal, you have to do around 200 million damage to get through this. It's actually a little more than 200 million. It's closer to 210 million. You have to do 200 million damage. Now that's going to take your entire team, all of your guys' characters, your entire rosters every day for anywhere from 4 days to 40 days, depending upon how big or how small your guild is and how many people participate. 4 to 40 days, but it's guaranteed you can complete it, and it's guaranteed rewards at the end once you do it. Now, the Heroic has approximately 50 million, 4 times less. 4 times less. 200 million for normal, approximately 50 million for Heroic. Okay? So you have to do 4 times less damage, but key here, you must do it within 2 days of launch. And it's going to take a lot of coordination and effort, and once your roster's done, you're done. If you do every one of your characters in the first phase and you're done, you will not be able to help the team in phase 2, 3, and 4. So my videos I've brought out previous where you see my team beating it, we only had to beat Heroic in 2 days, and we only had to do 50 million. Now, There's 50 people in our team. Everyone participates. That's approximately 1 million damage per person in the team. Okay? So we have to do 1 million each. Now there's 4 phases, which means you need to do approximately 250,000 in each session. And I can tell you from personal experience, each phase is different, but phase 1, you'll average between 100 and 150,000. Phase 2, you'll get it between 500 to 1 million on that second phase. And phase 3 and phase 4, you'll get somewhere around 250,000. Most of the people in my league, by the time this is over, get somewhere between 1 to 2 million each. It does help because there are some characters, some individuals in our team that can't do more than about 500,000 to 1 million. And so someone like me, I do like 800,000 to 1.2 million currently on this raid. So that is what we have to do to get through it, and that's doable with the character rosters that we have, but maybe normal is right for your team. Just understand that the benefit is you'll get your reward, but it may take forever for you to grind through 200 million damage. That's 4 million damage a piece. So how many days will it take you to do 4 million damage? Now, a really, really good team, such as Team Instinct, it would probably take us 4 days, where the heroic AAT rank takes us 2 days. So it takes us twice as long, so it should take you guys a minimum of twice as long, and you get lesser rewards. So it's really a matter of, can you guys do the amount of damage you need to do in the amount of time you can, or do you just want to grind this thing out? Now, again, I don't necessarily agree with the 200 million or the 50 million. Those are approximates, but I just wanted to go over that so you guys could understand the differences between the two raids and which one your team should get as to all of that information. I hope that this clears things up a little bit, and I hope this explains that when your team launched a normal raid and you went in there and you tried to do everything you could and you just died, why? It is so difficult, it is so high on normal that maybe your team should have gone heroic or vice versa. Maybe you went into heroic and now you can't complete it, you've lost your coins and you're getting no reward. Maybe you're regretting that and wish you would have tried normal. Anyway, this is how they have it built. This is the information on normal versus heroic. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. As always, keep your gaming on. Warrior out.